Hey folks, I'm Steph Stolzenbach, a licensed clinical social worker practicing here in New York City for the past 16 years. So today we're going to talk about relationships, which can dramatically impact our mental health as we know. What I really want to dig into are toxic relationships, what they are, how they impact us, and most importantly, how we can heal from those. Toxic relationships can exist with coworkers, friends, family members, romantic partners, you name it. So now we're going to dig a little bit deeper and see how that impacts us as people. A toxic relationship is anything that can really damage your mental health, self-esteem, or well-being. These sorts of relationships can also leave you feeling really drained, physically, emotionally, and mentally. Some of the key traits of toxic relationships are constant criticism, isolation from friends or family, coworkers, explosive anger and outbursts that you might feel from your partner, gaslighting. We've all been there before, where you feel like what you're saying is not really being understood or acknowledged. Certainly jealousy, controlling your whereabouts, your actions, and your choices. It can also be things like withholding affection or attention as well. What I've noticed is that these behaviors can really creep in over time, and it's very common to get desensitized to what you're experiencing. There might be a lot of self-blame, excuses being made, which is all really, really common when you're thinking about kind of coping through what you're experiencing. What's really key here is just recognizing when a relationship is no longer healthy and might be moving towards more of a toxic dynamic. I'm often asked, what's the difference between toxic relationships and abusive relationships? So let's dig in there. Toxic relationships often involve unhealthy patterns. However, they don't really escalate to deliberate harm. When we think about abusive relationships, there's often more deliberation there, creating harm and these patterns of power and control. Abusive relationships can take place in many forms and manifest physically, emotionally, mentally, financially, and also sexually. So why is this important? Because we want to know what actions to take moving forward. Oftentimes folks feel that unless abuse is really overt, then maybe they can kind of hang and stay with that partner. In reality, those more subtle dynamics in the toxic relationships can quickly escalate to a more abusive situation. What I see so often are folks maybe in that umbrella of the toxic relationship, or maybe their partner is controlling their social media usage, controlling who they're seeing, how they're spending their time, right? Those more kind of subtle red flags. Those are some of the signs that the relationship might be moving from toxic to a more abusive relationship. Like with many other interpersonal relationships, the impact of this can be significant on our mental health. You might experience things like anxiety, depression, trouble sleeping, decrease in appetite, as well as, which makes a lot of sense, impact on your social and emotional well-being and functionality. Oftentimes you might feel cut off or isolated from your go-to people, those that you really get support from, as well as when you feel like you're walking on eggshells around your partner, really unsure what's a normal day gonna look like, or maybe what might be a little bit more of a challenging day with that partner. Just really thinking again about these different domains of your life. So let's talk a little bit about solutions. I think what's really important, even before beginning therapy, is thinking a little bit about self-preservation and self-care, right? So within that, we want to think a little bit about, how you can maintain safety within your living space and what you need just to kind of get through your thoughts and feelings, right? Journaling, music, taking a hot shower, going out and moving the body. I often say move the body to free the mind, because so much is kind of built up within our body. So a simple walk, going to get something that you enjoy drinking, hot tea or coffee, whatever kind of serves you. In addition to that, thinking about what are healthy boundaries for your own well-being. You might want to have a little bit of distance emotionally and or physically from your partner. Thinking about how you might be able to spend time with a loved one, friend, family member. Getting a little bit of distance can really support you in clearing your mind, decompressing, and thinking about what's the next best thing for myself as I engage on my healing journey. Seeking out support from, of course, friends and family. Our natural supports is amazing, but also maybe leaning on a trusted professional. When you meet with that person, taking time to build trust and rapport, but opening up about the realities of that relationship and the impact of those dynamics on you is really, really key. What I've seen work really well are folks who are able to explore, who am I? What's important to me? How can I love and accept myself first? And then from there, thinking about What's the relationship for me that's most ideal and most healthy? What does reciprocal love look like? And being able to think on a more deeper level, perhaps on early attachment patterns. Are we kind of reenacting through this partnership early unhealthy, strained, insecure attachment patterns? Because oftentimes what we see in these toxic or abusive relationships is a reenactment of what we experienced or saw in our early years growing up. After that, being able to think about, again, what are your needs? Coping skills is wonderful. Being able to practice and set healthy boundaries for yourself. Thinking about what really nourishes you as a person. What do you really need in a relationship to feel secure, happy, joyful? And also thinking about effective communication, being able moving forward and healing from this, being able to think about, what do I really need to talk about with my future partner? How do I establish a healthier, more reciprocal, safe relationship? And working with a provider is really key here. You might think about CBT techniques, that would be cognitive behavioral therapy, to really kind of enhance thinking about the connection between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. I've seen that be really, really effective, also through the kind of that person-centered relational approach. As we can see, there's a lot of different ways to address toxic relationships. What I've seen matter most are voice, choice, and awareness. Being able to really bring what you want, what you desire into your healing. What your thoughts and feelings are. They matter, being able to express those. What is your ideal relationship moving forward? How can you heal and move forward from what you've experienced? And being able to recognize that you're not alone. This is a very common situation for so many people. Any toxic relationship that you've experienced does not define your future relationships. You're not stuck. Healing is always possible, and you're never alone on this journey. So if you're looking to learn more or want to talk to us about your specific situation, please check out the links below in our description. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe for more mental health tips, and we'll see you next time.